What's going on, good people? Welcome into the Delmarva Sports Insider, the only live and local show dedicated to local sports. I, of course, am Sports Director Trayvon Miles.
And I'm Brandon Bossert. This is the Delmarva
That's right.
Sports Insider. Kick back and enjoy the next half hour as we revisit the top athletes in the Bayside from the fall season. And Trey, you know what? I feel like we're pretty lucky right now because our job is still to talk about sports, and I feel like we have to take that. We can't take that for granted, right?
Yes, you're exactly right. I couldn't have said it better myself. We've got another fun night in store. Quarantine party on us. Come on in here tonight. We did the top 10 from the fall and the Hen Open last week. We're bringing this week back to the Bayside Conference.
That's right. What a season it was.
That's right.
It was tough to pare this list down to just 10, Trey.
That's exactly right. It was very hard, but we're going to get things started with our number 10 athlete of the fall sports season. Might I add again, this was a very hard list to put together, so if you don't see your name, just get at us on Twitter.
That's right.
Coming in at number 10,
Let us know.
5'8" of him out of Cambridge, South Dorchester High School. It's Logan Middleton. Look, I think this spot came down to Middleton or Grant Copper of Easton. Copper might have had a better individual season, Brandon, but just look at Middleton's body of work.
Yeah.
This year he broke the school record with 11 receiving touchdowns. He also is near the top of the program, a very historic program, in nearly every receiving category. He was so important to their offense. Even when teams knew Cambridge was passing, Middleton was open.
I mean, it's crazy. You talk about 5'8", and we see him wide open down the field constantly in these highlights. It's insane how much of a deep threat he really was, setting records out there. And like you mentioned, Copper had a great year as well with Ryan O'Connor out there in Easton. Maybe we'll see his name down there in the honorable mentions.
I think we will.
Yeah, we might. All right, moving on now to number 9, the best player from the Bayside North in boys soccer this season, North Carolina's Justin Tasker. The senior led the Bulldogs, let them take home the Bayside North title on the boys' side. After the season, the awards kept coming in for him. Tasker was named second-team All-State and recognized as one of the best 50 players in the state. To put this into perspective, Trey, this is the first time in 15 years that North Carolina's boys soccer team have had a member of their program be named to the All-State team.
Yeah, when you think about it, it's really not hard to understand. This kid was a force. He was a 4-year starter on North Carolina, which was a really good team. So congratulations to that young man. Second team All-State from the Shore. That is not bad at all. All right, on to number 8. Yes, number 8 is the biggest boss in the Bayside. Big Mike Collins of Parkside High School. In our estimation, the best interior lineman this fall season. Big Mike was a force in the backfield all year long. He was a big reason why Parkside didn't give up many rushing yards this year. His size and strength alone are very impressive. All you got to do is look at the highlights. And that is the reason, one among many, that he is going to play football at Shepherd next year.
That's right. And, over 285 pounds. I mean, Mike Collins is a force out there on the football field. And you see him blowing up plays right there, defensive tackle, keeping the quarterback upright and helping out with that running game. Wish we could have seen Marcus Yarns a little bit more this season.
Absolutely.
But Mike Collins, a huge player out there on the football field. Can't wait to see what he does at the next level. Well, our next athlete killed the competition this year. Seriously, though, Morgan Esham. Yeah, thank you, Trey. I love the
puns.
Guy
on a Friday
Morgan
night.
Esham was ferocious along the nets for Bennett this year, tallying 125 kills and 90 blocks. Esham, along with this year's co-player of the year in the South and teammate Hannah Mills, led the Clippers to an undefeated regular season, and they were dominating teams, sweeping their opponents regularly. Esham finishes her career with 2 Player of the Year awards in the Bayside South.
Yeah, it really wasn't fair because Morgan Esham is a very tall player, but not only is she tall, she was dominant.
Yeah.
Her right hand was nothing to mess with, and anybody that came up close to the net felt that when they played against Bennett. Bennett was undefeated. She was a very big reason.
Yeah, you see it right there.
No pun intended. All right, on to number 6. Number 6 is going to another Parkside Ram. Is this right? Parkside's Vince Veneer, an absolute baller this year on the soccer fields for undefeated Parkside. Veneer led the Rams offensively all year long. He was the Bayside South Player of the Year. Parkside won the Bayside title. And guess what? Veneer was a lot of the reason why that happened this year. He stayed around the goal. Every highlight that we have, you can look for number 6, and he's somewhere close to the ball.
Yeah, that's right.
Watch this move. Check this move out.
Yeah, they went pretty far this year. And Veneer is definitely the main reason why Parkside went so far this year. But they've got a lot of talent on that team, and I expect them to go pretty far next year as well. Well, let's finish this block off in style, shall we? Cruising in at number 5, Mr. Versal himself. He can do it all. It's Y-High's Ronnie Satchel.
Oh, yeah.
Satchel not only could beat you on the ground, but he did so through the air and on the third side of the football as well, as he was named first team slot receiver and first team kick and punt returner. The Tribe are going to have a tough time replacing what this young man brings to the field and in the huddle. What doesn't show up, Trey, on the stat sheet is the leadership that he provides to the Tribe.
Absolutely. Ronnie Satchel, I always said this during football season, I think every school needs a Ronnie Satchel on their roster. He's that coach on the field amongst players. A very dominant young man, although he's not very big, very dominant in heart, also in the classroom. This list was very impressive, but Ronnie Satchel really stands out to me. He's super athletic, but he's also a really, really good student, very mature young man, way ahead of his time.
Yeah, I think Ronnie really exemplifies, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog.
Exactly right.
Yeah, well, moving on, I just want to talk about Morgan Esham. She stood out to me as a dominant force on the volleyball court, and she was a force on the net. It's going to be tough to replace her if you're Bennett.
Yeah, you made a good point. It's going to be hard to replace these seniors. I think that was 6 out of 6 seniors that we named.
All seniors so far. It's a lot different than the Hem Open was last week.
10 to 5. So it's going to be hard to replace all 5 of these that we just named. All right, that's going to do it for the A block. When we come back, we're tossing it back to a former Bayside stud who now has his eyes on the NFL draft. We're also continuing our countdown. Mr. O'Connor, you might be on our list somewhere. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.
I'm Brendan Riley. I'm the head football coach at Parkside High School, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.